if you want to be with us. And we will get to phone calls in this hour. So the media telling us it's been a bad week for President Obama. I'd rather look at it through a different prism. It has been not just a bad week. It has been a bad 3.5 years, but not for Obama, but for us. Every week is a bad week for America. With Barack Hussein Kardashian in the White House, every year is a bad year for us. It has been a bad 3.5 years. And as much, ladies and gentlemen, as I am dedicated to the educational and informative task of teaching people about the destructive nature of liberalism and its latest vehicle, Barack Hussein Kardashian. And by the way, that's popping up everywhere, all over. It was on a Breitbart headline the other day. Last night, the Breitbart website. Yeah, I'm sure. There's a whole Barack Hussein Kardashian website now. That's what show prep for the rest of the media. It's all over the place out there now. But see, when it comes to America, I am not Obama-centric. We were better off before Obama, and we'll be better off after Obama. See, to me, and particularly if you are one of the millions of new listeners to the program, the country is what matters. The people who make this country work are who matter to me. I grow weary. I laugh at it, but I still grow weary every day. Multiple media stories. How will this impact Obama? How will this affect the Obama campaign? What does this mean for Obama's reelection? The hell with that. What does it mean for the country? That's our concern here. What does it mean for the people who make this country work? That's our concern here. It's been a bad week for Obama. I'm sorry, that offends me. Boo-hoo. A bad week for Obama is a worse week for us. What is a bad week for the guy? He's flying on Air Force One as often as he wants, from party to party, from celebrity to celebrity. And while he gets off that plane, he asks for money. He asks for praise. He asks for adoration. He asks for those that he has hurt the most to have his back. What bad week for Obama? Oh, you didn't hear this? It's a new ad. It's a new ad for Obama. We had it yesterday. Here, listen to it again.
4 years ago, we made history. Now it's time to move forward and finish what we started together. We have to show the president we have his back.
We can't afford to spend the next 4 years going backwards. I refuse to pay for another millionaire's tax cut by kicking children off of Head Start programs, or asking students to pay more for college, or eliminating health insurance for millions of poor and elderly and disabled Americans on Medicaid.
Have the president's back and register to vote. Go to gottavote.org to register now. That's gottavote.org.
You know we've got your back.
Paid for by Obama for America.
We got your back. We got the president's back. These are the people. What is unemployment in the black community? Did I see 50 some odd percent? What is unemployment in the black community? Black youth, 50 some odd percent. And yet, here they are running ads for these people to have Obama's back. What about Obama having their back? What about Obama having our back? Oh, it's such a horrible week for Barack Obama. Oh, by the way, you should try this. A Google search of Obama and Kardashian returns 71,400,000 hits. A little throwaway line off the top of my head on this program a couple of weeks ago. And look how it has now rooted itself in the American pop culture and even certain parts of the political culture. So we've got, what is it? What's the number? 13.6% unemployment in the black community, and Obama's running commercials asking black people for his back. Bad week for Obama. Party to party, celebrity to celebrity, asking for money, asking for praise, asking for those he's hurt the most to have his back. We have the first community organizer to occupy the Oval Office actively working to keep illegal voters voting in Florida. The state of Florida is trying to purge illegals and people illegally registered from the voting rolls. And the Justice Department, the Kardashian Justice Department, with Holder, Eric Holder, is suing the state of Florida. Let a Republican president try anything like this, and you've got a nuclear explosion in the media. And I'm going to tell you what's happening. The media doesn't report this stuff, and they think, as a result, nobody knows about it. They continue to live in a state of denial that there is an alternative media that is just as penetrating. They can pretend that by not covering a story, the story doesn't happen. They can pretend by not covering a story or not condemning an action that nobody hears about it. But people are fully aware of all of this, of the new Black Panthers in Philadelphia and the Justice Department declining prosecution, as was said, because we're not going after black defendants. Here we have a president who sued the state of Arizona to stop the state of Arizona from enforcing laws that protect their citizens. He simply created a law in Arizona that mirrors the federal law that Obama will not enforce, and he sues them. He's given billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars, to supporters of his in a losing industry, green energy, so he can use that as an excuse to pick on a winning industry, fossil fuel producers. He's doing everything he can to limit oil production, discovery, and expansion. Bad week for Obama. Oh, my heart bleeds. Every day. We've had two in a row from the Washington Post. Oh, my God, Democrats are worried. How's all this affecting Obama? You know, most of the country, Mr. Milbank and Ms. Tumulty, most of the country is not asking with wringing hands and deep concern, oh my gosh, how is this news affecting our wonderful president? They're asking themselves, when the hell is somebody going to do something to change the direction this country's economy is going? They're not worried about the impact all this stuff is having on Obama. They see him having the life of a party. He's bragging about it. Television commercials, dinner with Anna Wintour and Sarah Jessica Parker, then George Clooney. Now they're going to do it again. Obama flying all over the place. Muchel flying all over. Vacation after vacation after vacation. Martha's Vineyard, Las Vegas, Spain. Poor Obama had a bad week. On his worst week, President Kardashian has had it better than the richest man on the planet in recorded and unrecorded history. I'm growing weary about hearing about Barack Obama having a bad week. The people who make this country work are suffering every day he's in office. And we have to hear about a bad week that Obama had. Really, it is so out of proportion. It's insulting. You know, the scary thing to contemplate is, what would a good week for Obama be? What would it take for the media to report that he had a good week? Let that scare you, because it should. A bad week for Obama is having to sit next to a movie star that he doesn't particularly like. Nixon hounded out of office 40 years ago for a second-rate burglary that even to this day nobody can figure out. We have got Watergate-type scandals in 3 different spots in this administration, and what's the media writing about? 40-year-old Watergate. I'll never forget, folks, my dad. Oh, you would have loved, if my dad were alive, get him on the phone. I'd say, hey, what's going on? And shut up for a half hour. During Watergate, I forget, it was Cronkite was still doing the news. The end of the CBS, he'd turn off TV. He would look at me and he would scream, what the hell did he do? What did he do? People are still asking, what really happened? Nobody can figure out what Watergate really was. We know it was a burglary at the Democrat National Committee, but beyond that, we still don't know what Nixon really did or didn't do and what the purpose of this was and how it... Yeah, Nixon covered it up. They're trying to protect his boys. Liddy, E. Howard Hunt. So, no, don't misunderstand me now. I'm not saying nothing happened, but there's a sense of proportion is needed here. For crying out loud, we have a regime which ignores federal judges on drilling moratoriums. We have a regime that is running an open money laundering operation with union dues. We have an administration that is knowingly bankrolling losing industries. Crony capitalism out the wazoo. Whatever Nixon did, it pales in comparison. Woodward and Bernstein just wrote a 4,000-word editorial for the Washington Post. And you know what their point was? Nixon was even worse than what they knew. Oh, yeah. Nixon was even worse than what they knew. I'll tell you what I think. I think this deep throat guy, what was his name? Oh, I'm having a mental block of the deep throat guy's name. Mark Felt. I think this guy played Woodward and Bernstein like Yo-Yo Ma on the cello. And you know what Felt was ticked off about? He wanted the FBI director gig, and E. Patrick Gray got it, one of Nixon's buddies, and what Felt was trying to do was get even with Nixon, which he did. And meanwhile, Woodward and Bernstein, everything Deep Throat told them, they bought it, hook, line, and sinker. They didn't question it in the end. And this guy, at any rate, you look at Eric Holder and the Fast and Furious, for crying out loud. Nobody died in Watergate. Federal agent dies in Fast and Furious. You hear Holder taunting members of the Senate yesterday. I'm going to stick to my guns. Yes, I'm sticking to my guns, Holder. Somebody said to me, well, talk about insensitive. That's not insensitive. He's goading them. He's got a sense of entitlement like Obama does. Nobody can touch me. Nobody can stop me. Statist dictatorship mentality that exists here. Lanny Davis. Some really vicious people working for Obama. Now, don't tell me about Obama having a bad week, because I have no sympathy for Obama and his tough week. My concern is for the country and you and everybody who makes this country work. Our Justice Department is more corrupt than anything this country has seen in a long time. We have never been so far in debt with no plan to get out. Wages haven't budged in 4 years. The increase is 10 cents. The hourly wage is up 10 cents. Job creators have been demonized. Votes in Congress have been bought. The pharmaceutical industry was bought off. Public sector unions bought off. State-controlled media has encouraged all of this. And we're told that 8+% unemployment is the new normal. The bottom line is Barack Hussein Kardashian does not have bad weeks. We do.